Good morning, Captain Windsong.
Good morning, Diane.
So I'm going to ask you a few questions. I'm just interested to know why you love living on a boat.
Well, I love living on a boat because I'm sitting on the water. I love the feeling of the water, and I love the feeling of privacy out here. And it's also accepting what you wish for is what you get. Because 30 years ago I had a vision of living on a boat as a young man, a vision of living on a boat, how romantic it would be to sail around and go to these beautiful places, and the sun would be rising or setting and the blue water around. And of course I had to unconsciously or consciously work towards that, and now that I'm 60 I find that I'm living my dream, and this is the reality of it. So if I could think of something better to do, I might do it, now that I've done it for so long.
And have you had any major disasters or anything that's happened to you on your boat? Any adventures that you'd like to share?
Well, my first adventure was going to Muiroa in the 70s, where I went off on a 28-foot steel ship to Muiroa, and with two other gentlemen, and we got turned upside down in monstrous seas, and the boat was half full of water, and the captain was hurt. He was thrown overboard, and luckily he was on a lifeline, and we were disabled, and we had to get ourselves together and sail back to New Zealand again, save the boat, save ourselves, and for I think it was about 3 days we lay a hull with all the sails down and everything battened down, and we were like in a washing machine, this way, that way, you couldn't tell which way you're going. And then after a few days the weather abated, and we put up a small sail and sailed into the Bay of Islands, and that was the end of that adventure to save the world from atomic warfare.
So I hear you've raised a couple of families on your boat. How did you find that?
Well, another piece of...
Must have been a bit cramped.
No, not particularly. It was a form of idealism, again, starting from a small boat, and with organisation and a kind of an expectation of someone else living your dream or my dream, evolving into a bigger boat and a better situation. But this is where it remained, on this particular boat. I've had this boat 25 years, and it just happens to be my home, and one I've shared with the families, and with a great sense of discipline and cleanliness. It is possible to live in an environment like this so long as you're on the move with adventures and going places and educating yourselves and keeping it all together. It does actually work, but just sitting on the mud somewhere doesn't actually work, because you might as well be in a house.
Don't you find it more work and maintenance, sort of looking after it, than you would in a house?
The work is not a lot of work, it's just getting round to doing it, because the weather and the circumstances are always against getting on with the work. I mean, the work might be a couple of weeks work a year maintaining a boat, and that would be about it, but it takes a whole year, or it takes forever to continue to maintain the boat. An hour here, a couple of hours there, when the weather's right, it's not raining. Like for example, just recently it's been windy and rainy and overcast and very uncomfortable to work on the boat. Now if I could put it in a shed, that would be magnificent. And it would all be done in a couple of weeks.
So you catch your water off the roof, apart from times when it's not raining. You'd have to go to friends, wouldn't you?
That's right. Well,
so right now we're catching water, aren't we? Because it's raining.
Yes.
And and you've got tanks right out here, outside, catching water off the roof. And then you've got down below, here's your little house, which is a single bed and a double bed, which is up airing underneath at the moment. And then there's another little cabin down the front and the stern with a room in between, which is like an office and wardrobe-y type space. And then there's the galley, which is very functional. And then we go, there's a little room down below. Even TV, DVD, music scene, the whole lot. And then this is the wheelhouse up the back, where we're having a wee interview. And then down below